Welcome, everyone. I am Chris Gore. This is Film Threat. We are, you know what? Those of you who are saying we're late, we're actually 28 hours early for our Wednesday show. But today, the embargo has broken. Those of us who have seen Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania are free to speak to you all about it. And a whole host of guests today have a lot to say. We saw the movie last night. In Burbank at the AMC Burbank 16. Might be one of the best theaters in Los Angeles area for sure. All right, Alan Ng is waiting in the wings, as he always is. Let's get things started. Let's talk Ant-Man. And I have thoughts about a couple other things too. We may broach some other topics. Let's go. Let's get this thing started and go. Alan,
hey,
how's it going, man?
Good. For once,
where are you?
I'm in my office. Yeah,
what?
There's just a little bit of my comic book collection right there.
I think Marie Kondo would not approve of your office.
She would not.
That's all. She would
not.
hate
hey,
it.
Look at this. These are all the badges I've collected over the years.
Oh wow! You know what? I keep my badges too. They're like way more organized than they should possibly be. So, yeah.
Oh
so
boy, what a night last
night! And I realize we don't have our captions. I got to get the captions going on this. So I'm gonna do that right now. Why don't you see who's in the chat? I know we've got got a lot of people joining us, and we've got a couple other special guests that will be joining us today. Dante James and Paulie from Latino Slant will be here. So there you go.
By the way, did they let you go into the IMAX theater? Were you assigned there, or did you sneak in? That's what I'm wondering.
What are you talking about?
Because we got pushed off to the theater in the back, and I think you saw it.
You're kidding? Why? Oh, that's why I couldn't find you.
Yeah.
Well, that's weird.
Well, I mean,
we just walked to the IMAX.
Yeah, I was the only way. Great Drake was in our screening.
Oh, there you go.
I thought they would upgrade her.
Oh, okay, cool. Let me see. All right. I'm getting things started here. I did get into a debate last night with Eric Weber, who thinks that I liked Magic Mike's Last Dance, and clearly I told him, if you watch my show, you would see that I did not like that film, and I thought it was terrible. So I don't think we need to repeat that.
Well, I think he's thinking that anyone who gave that movie a score above a 0 liked the movie.
Right. Yeah. Well, I don't know that I give it a 0. I mean, it was shot and in focus, but there you go. Now I am definitely pre-coffee at the moment here. So I would describe myself as I haven't had a drop of coffee, so I have to wake myself up. Before we get started, let's see who's in the chat. And I'm going to say hello to John Manilang. So is Quantumania supposed to be the launch of Phase 5? That is correct.
It is officially the launch of Phase 5.
It is the first movie of Phase 5. So there we go.
And it's made abundantly clear. That
yes, exactly. Len Barnett, hail, let's go. Red Terror 1978, Heidi Ho, neighborinos. David Glenn, I ate at IHOP once and got stomach cangs as a result. The Joker, I have no interest in the movie. I'm just curious what Film Threat's opinions and comments. All right, we're going to get to it. And more than just Alan and I. Alan Horkin, yay, now we're cooking. Lord Thoth, let's get ready to rumble. And Toxic Waltz N8, bing a bong, Burbank. Yeah. What? I mentioned Burbank. Do you know the history of the city of Burbank? It was founded by a guy named John Burbank. It's the most boring story of the founding of a city you could possibly imagine. Solomon Thornton, I just hope Kang the Conqueror is done well. He is menacing and calculating in the comics, but my expectations are low. Well, keep him there. That's all I can say is you may want to keep them there. Before we get started, just a couple of quick comments. I was on Midnight's Edge in the morning talking about the Super Bowl. And the thing that impressed me about the Super Bowl that I don't think enough people are talking about is the fact that where were the woke commercials? Where were the woke and lecturing commercials? And it was bizarre because, normally your expectation is you see the commercials during a big event like this, and every couple is mixed race, every single one. They don't make any bones about it. But in this, it was interesting. I saw like a family, I think it was either a white or an ethnic family, but they were all the same. And it was just like, oh, we don't even see I was like so surprised that I saw a family like in a commercial together. That struck me. And then the only thing that like maybe, it was just refreshing. Like, and there were funny commercials. The Dunkin' Donuts one with Ben Affleck, the one with John Travolta where he's singing the song from Grease. There was some entertaining commercials, and especially the one, with Breaking Bad, Jesse and Mr. White eating those chips or whatever, pop chips. I thought it was great. It was funny. So I don't know. Like it was just very surprising. And I don't think it's because the Super Bowl was on Fox. I think it has to do with the fact that advertisers are realizing, we're not, this stuff doesn't resonate. This stuff does not resonate on a mainstream level.
Yeah, that maybe marketing to half of the country is not a good idea.
Yeah, market to everybody. You know what? Yeah. Everybody likes Breaking Bad. Everybody likes Chips, and I would say all people, for the most part, like comedy.
Yeah,
and those are beloved characters from Breaking Bad. The two lead characters, effectively.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's this idea that maybe the product's not for you, but you don't need to piss those people off.
Exactly.
A commercial should not give you negative emotions to say, a commercial is not meant to say, hey, don't buy my product.
Right. A beer commercial doesn't have to lecture you about immigration policies in the United States. I believe there was a Bud commercial. Was it a Bud Light? Not Bud. It might've been something else. A beer commercial that sort of tells the story of immigrants. And it was clearly like a shot at Trump at the time, I remember. And I'm just thinking, like, I don't know, this is kind of a good commercial, but the timing of it, whatever. Yeah. I was very surprised. And also it was a very good game. Came down to the last seconds. Really good game. I had no dog in the fight. Look, I was rooting for Philly because, my friend Mark Bell is a Philly fan and he would like to see the Eagles win the Super Bowl. So it was just all in all a really good time. I hung out. It was like me, Dante, my buddy Tristan, and we just hung out and it was great. It was like, wow, this is like an old Super Bowl. Really enjoyed it. The other thing is the trailers that stood out to me. I thought the Indiana Jones trailer, real quick, was discouraging. I think it doesn't look better the more I see of the film. There was also,
I can say the same for Cocaine Bear.
Right. Yeah. Cocaine Bear. The more we see it,
the more that comes out about Cocaine Bear, the less interested I am in seeing it.
Yeah. I think it's going to be terrible, but maybe it's terrible in a good, bad way. In addition, Eric Weber revealed to us that they're doing a screening of Cocaine Bear the day before the movie, and the embargo breaks 1 p.m. the day the movie opens. Never heard of that.
1 p.m. Or 1 a.m.
1 p.m.
You're kidding.
Yeah, that's hilarious. So the Flash trailer looks great.
Yeah.
I have heard from multiple people who have actually seen a test screening of the movie that it's very good, that it's akin to Back to the Future 2, that it's this connection between other universes or multiverses, whatever you want to say, and the Snyderverse. It's going to be the reset. So I'm a reset for the DC universe for James Gunn. It looks very good. And I even heard before that the script for this movie was fantastic. It was just crazy, over the top, emotional, fun. And Michael Keaton back as Batman. Oh my God. I mean, I think I watched the trailer like 5 times on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed. I'm it's gonna the James no the Flash is. I don't know much about this story, but
Alan, do you need coffee?
Doing good trailers. What?
Do you need coffee, Alan?
No, I was about to say something factually wrong, and I had to stop myself.
Yeah, well, all right. Well, that's but I think you know what you were probably about to say.
69.
69 is how I scored with your mother last night.
Well,
there we go. I mean, good company there.
We had to get that in. So there you go. I quite enjoyed the trailer. For the Flash, it looks good. The Guardians of the Galaxy, the new trailer gave us a little bit more of what to expect from that film. I expect it's going to be very good. Quick super chat.
It's gonna be very emotional. I think that's what you're going to get out of. That's what I got.
Yes, I think that Guardians of the Galaxy will be very emotional. I also think it's going to close the chapter on that story, or at least those characters. Yeah. Paulie from Latino Slant says, "Be there soon." Magnum Norse for 20. Cocaine Bear should be quarterback for the Chicago Bears. Good. Yeah, I would agree.
So you're saying James Gunn is done with Marvel?
I'm gonna say that's for sure. Elliot Cecil for $4.99. The Dial of Destiny just doesn't have that Spielberg magic to it. CGI looks sloppy, and the good part of the originals is that they're practical. Yes. Yep. Mostly practical effects. I mean, obviously some green screen enhancement, matte paintings, and those kind of shots, which I like, mixture of miniatures, but it was mostly practical effects. That trailer just looked cheesy. And when Phoebe Waller-Bridge says, he looks at her, Indiana Jones looks at her, she's about to fall out of the plane. He says, "What are you doing?" She said, "I'm trying to rescue you." And if she's going to be in the whole movie, I mean, is she a movie star? I don't know. Mostly people know her
TV
from television.
Star.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Oh no, go ahead. Finish your.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
No, because I'm gonna pivot just a bit, but finish your thought about it.
You're gonna pivot. What are you gonna pivot to?
No, I was gonna say bad CGI. Then you've seen the Marvels trailer.
Right. Oh wait. Oh wow.
CGI in that one looks horrendous.
You've seen the teaser, right? It's not even it's like a trailer and a scene.
I've seen more than what they showed. Yeah.
Okay, so have we seen? There's no Marvels trailer yet.
No. I mean, what I saw, I think constituted a trailer. This one was definitely a teaser, but yeah, like I said, the CGI is amazingly bad in that teaser.
Well, also could have been early, so let's forgive that. But I'll just say this: this movie opens in 5 months. The Marvels, 5 months. The movie opens. Okay, and we have seen publicly nothing. They only showed a little teaser at D23. It opens, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, July 11th. So there you go. We have over 500 people watching. I think it's about time that we pivot and talk Ant-Man. So let's do that. Okay. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. We're going to launch right in. Alan and I will give you our thoughts. We are going to be spoiler free. If we talk any spoilers in this conversation, you'll be fairly warned. Let's just say that. My preference.
I always say the first act is open. Yeah.
First act and getting there is open, but I will say this: we're going to save spoiler discussion for Friday when you have had an opportunity to see it, or you choose not to see it because you don't care. But let's get into it. Real quick, I just want to I'm just going to show you some stuff that I have. I sort of dragged. This is just stuff that's sitting on my shelf. I've had for years. It's an Ant-Man and the Wasp little mini comic that I have. It's a tiny. And of course, it fell on the floor. Then I also, my buddy Tommy got me this at a convention. It is a Pym Industries. It's a Matchbox, and in the Matchbox, you've got Scott Lang Ant-Man right there. Just thought I'd show you that. Can you see that? It's a little. All right, my lighting is not so great here. I'm trying to. get it so you can see it. Anyways, all right. I don't know why I grabbed that. I thought it was a good way to kick it off. But let's launch right in. Alan, what are your thoughts on Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania?
It is the best Marvel movie of 2023. And I'll do the bad pun. It's Quantumania. It's okay, but I didn't walk away feeling like I just saw a superhero movie or I saw a grand movie. The movie to me felt like it was less an Ant-Man movie, but more of an introduction to Kang. And so, this is not an Ant-Man movie. And that's been my frustration. I was watching this film thinking to myself, why am I not loving this movie? Why am I not loving it? The action's great. Feels like a comic book. I think Eric talked about it looking like a Flash Gordon movie. But I got, honestly, I think, when they're in the quantum realm and they're in this world that we know nothing about, I got vibes of Strange World. And I got the same frustration with that movie as with this movie. This quantum realm, I can't relate to it. There's nothing in there that says that reminds me of life here on Earth. I don't know how food is grown. I don't know the currency system. I don't know the caste system. All I know is there's Kang's forces and the rebellion, and that's what the quantum realm is about. There's creatures that look cute, but it's just I couldn't find myself being able to physically touch this world in a way that is meaningful to me, and that's the entire film. I mean, 95% of this film takes place in the quantum realm, and it's a world that I just can't relate to at all. And so it just feels like it's more about starting off Phase 5 and the Kang Dynasty than it is about telling an Ant-Man story.
All right, well, let's actually we're joined by Dante James from Verbal Riot Show is here. Dante, you saw the movie with us last night. How's it going, man?
How's it going, boys?
Actually, wait. You're coming in a little hot. Can you
let me
turn down your gain? The gain is
how's this? Better?
A little lower, maybe, but
actually, it's at 0. I think that's just my voice.
Oh man. Okay, yeah. All right.
Or I need a better mic.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. But
how about this? If I put the mic a little further away from me?
Sure. Yeah. First impressions.
All right, so here's the thing, man. I'm glad I had a night to sit on it, because if I tried to do a review yesterday, I think there was just too many things going on for me to form an opinion yesterday. Mm-hmm. But now that I've had time to think about it, man, I really look. I still stand by what I said. It was enjoyable. It wasn't great. The problem is that the bar for Marvel has been set so low these days that anything other than it completely sucking is kind of a win for them, So there are things about the movie I liked. I kind of wish they would have let us learn a little bit more about the quantum realm, because I mean, you're introducing this new land, this new realm, and it seemed in a weird way kind of rushed, because we're just trying to get to beats within the movie. And so I wish we could have explored that a little bit more. I feel like there were some big missteps in this movie. I think Alan hit the nail on the head, though. I think what bugs me the most about this movie is that it does feel just like a setup for another film. It's like, instead of letting the movie breathe on its own, I would have almost rather not have done Kang and have it be a different quantum realm villain. I mean, they did introduce like some of the Micronauts, or at least one of the Micronauts within the film. And I wish, hey, you know what? I mean, I know that's a really French comic and not a lot of people have heard about the Micronauts. I mean, real Marvel fans, if you've been reading comics since like the 90s, you know who the Micronauts are. They could have explored that angle a lot better, right? You know what would have been better, honestly? It would have been better if MODOK was the overarching villain of Ant-Man, right? And not the goofy one we got in the film, but actually like true MODOK, right? Like that would have been a much better. And then they could have hinted that towards the end he's a servant of Kang, who we never see, right? I just don't think Kang was the right villain for this movie.
I don't think Kang is the right villain for Ant-Man. I don't see
That's what I'm saying. Period.
Yeah, I mean, here's my early reaction. It was fun. Parts of it were fun. Have to admit, parts of it were fun. I think Cassie, the actress who plays Cassie, I think is very good. There are moments of fun. I don't understand people comparing it to Star Wars.
No, not at all.
Yeah, Flash Gordon, I think, is the better comparison.
I don't.
I agree with that.
But it was imminently forgettable. I mean, I walked out of the theater, was just like, all right. I'm not like, and what really struck me is how much a spine to the Marvel. If every movie is just another Marvel movie, it's missing its spine. And by spine, I mean Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Tony Stark not being part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe it's a loss. Same thing with Steve Rogers. If either one of those characters, you knew they were sort of the driving force. You were interested in what's going on. I mean, let's be honest. Ant-Man is kind of a side character who's very fun, but he is a side character, right? He is the comic relief of the Avengers.
Yeah. And the first two movies,
and that's what I'm saying. MODOK would have been a better villain for Ant-Man.
Right, because it ties in, or they tied it in. I thought MODOK was terrible.
I agree.
I thought it was so.
Well, it was a joke. It was comic relief. That's why he was there.
You know what MODOK reminded me of? You can't unsee it when I tell you this.
Oh shit!
When you see the movie, you're gonna look at it and go, "Oh no!" It's those Thumb movies by Steve Oedeker.
Oh, yeah. I knew you were going to say it. I knew it, man.
Have you ever seen Thumbtanic?
Yeah.
Just look up Thumb Wars. Thumb Wars is a parody of Star Wars with thumbs. These thumbs that they put eyes and a mouth on. It's the dumbest. It's so stupid. And the way they did MODOK, he has like the shield that goes on his face. So he looks menacing with the shield on his face. But when you take it off, he looks like a Thumbtanic thing. It's so bad.
I mean, he looks
laughable.
He looks like the MODOK from the Superhero Squad. I mean, it's like a child's toy.
Yeah, I agree with
but
that.
The thing is, it's the first two Ant-Mans, they were just meant to be a small movie about a guy trying to be with his family. And the quantum realm is kind of tangential to that, but this one they're trying to make it a full blown. That's why I say this is not an Ant-Man story. It's a Kang story, and I think ultimately that's why you walk away not feeling. You want to feel, like the world has been conquered after watching this movie, and you don't feel that way.
The worst part about all of this is that you introduce this major villain, and in 2 weeks, it's going to be the most forgettable film of the year. Like, we're not even going to be thinking about Ant-Man because it's that forgettable. I've already forgotten most of it, and I saw it yesterday.
Yeah, it's weird. I do think it's one of those things they'll do a very good, solid opening weekend. Solid.
Sure, like any other MCU movie.
Right, and then it's going to drop quick. Yeah.
But you know what? The positive side of this is that Jonathan Majors is going to be a great villain up until the Avengers movie in Phase 6. They established him well as this threat to the Marvel universe, and that's the good thing that came out of this. I'm looking forward to see where it goes from here.
See, that's the thing, man. I'm cringing. I don't know. I really don't. I don't trust Marvel anymore. I don't trust the MCU. I feel like they're going to fumble the ball.
What I'm saying more is
even with somebody like Jonathan Majors.
Well, I think what I'm saying is they set up Kang right. I'm interested in this villain. I will say this though, the direction that they're going with the convergences and the Kang dynasty, if it leads the way that the comic books led, this storyline is what got me out of Marvel comics and made me want to stop reading it. This whole storyline. And that's what I'm fearful most about.
Yeah,
I will say this though, Michelle Pfeiffer looked great.
Oh, that was the one thing that we all agree. Michelle Pfeiffer, for her age, she looked stunning.
Yeah.
I mean, she's in her 60s, right? Like
she looked damn good.
Yeah.
She looked so good. It was
and
like,
boy, could she fight. It's
yeah. I mean, there is the and this is in the trailer. There's like a Bill Murray, and they have kind of a relationship. Her and Michelle Pfeiffer and Bill Murray. Bill Murray's kind of he's Bill Murray, and if he's doing a cameo like that, he's just Bill Murray. He's just Bill Murray being Bill Murray, and it was fine. But so much of the movie, and the other thing is, unless I missed something, because I did go to the bathroom once, because I have to. But it's not a third Ant-Man film. It's the prequel to Kang. It's a little prequel to Kang, right? That's really what it is, and Kang's character going forward. So you get a little bit of like, Scott Lang's life after Endgame. He's like a hero, right? Because he's one of the Avengers, and it's that's kind of cute. It's fine. And then he's launched into the quantum realm. I thought the quantum realm, everybody's praising it. It's, most of the movie is shot in the volume or on green screen. And it felt like that. It felt like a movie it felt like a movie made during COVID. It felt like, it just, and it's not, everyone's saying, oh, it's so amazing. It's like, it's this sort of brownish, ugly, whatever. The other thing that did bug me about the film, and I am going to see it again on Thursday with our movie meetup group, Burbank AMC 16. Join us for happy hour at either Yard House or Islands. And then we're going to go see it on Thursday night when it opens to the public. But there's all these, the denizens of the quantum realm, right? And they're all fighting. And they literally, one of them just speaks out loud a socialism message. It's out of the blue in the middle of the movie, lecturing about socialism. I couldn't believe it. I don't forget what the line is, but it just and all of them are like, you have to rise, you have to resist,
burn it all down.
with that, sorry.
No, it was like burn it all down. There were all these like buzzwords, It was and I think it was Michael Douglas's character actually. It was Hank Pym who mentioned.
Well, he was talking about the communism within the ant community.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay,
but he's not talking about the ant community. It felt like this movie also was like, you have to have a line about this. It's like there were people giving notes to the filmmakers saying, well, you kind of have to put this in here. So
see, and that's why the MCU will continue to lose.
Well, and also, like, look, I did watch that final episode of Loki with Jonathan Majors as
He Who Remains.
He Who Remains, which I thought was great. It was so unexpected that he's this kind of broken, it's supposed to be the big baddie, and you pull the curtain, and he's like the wizard from the Wizard of Oz, this kind of broken man that with the awareness of like what's happening in the universe and kind of what he's responsible for and sort of tortured by that. I thought that was really good. We meet a very, very different Kang in this film. And I don't know, it's going to be weird that, there's 2 more years of Kang showing up in Marvel movies. The thing that is also disconcerting is the fact that you really, in order to be up to speed on Marvel, you need to watch the shows. I don't want to watch the shows. I think we've been burned too many times. There have been decent episodes, but I don't think there's been any Disney Plus Marvel series that's ever like, you can just say that whole series was great. Not one. I defy you to name one. There isn't. WandaVision came close, didn't stick the landing. But
what do you think about What If, though?
What If was fine. You know why? Because for me, What If was What If. It wasn't like it wasn't part of the continuity. It was just, hey, what if this happened? I don't think, unless they try to tie What If into like the mainstream storyline, which I think would be
yeah. I mean, they did. They kind of did with the last 2 episodes and the connection with Multiverse of Madness. But yeah, no, I get your point.
Yeah.
What If was fine. I actually like the comic better.
Oh, absolutely.
The comic is whenever I go to a convention and they have used comics, I always find the long box that has What If. And I've bought issues that I already have, but I don't care. It's what if comics are the best?
Because they were batshit nuts, man. Like you had titles like, what if the Punisher killed the Marvel universe, right?
Right.
It's literally an issue where panel by panel, the Punisher is killing each and every single Marvel character. And it's like, it was wacky shit like that made What If great.
Yeah. Before we get to comments, we have a lot of comments. We have super chats. We will get to them all. I promise you. Other thoughts on this? This is kicking off phase 5. Are we excited about phase 5?
No.
Wait, what? What?
I'm gonna say no, but I'm also gonna say this really quick. The biggest problem I have with this whole multiverse thing and Kang and all this shit is, where do you go from here, right? Like once the Kang wars are over, right? You set the stakes so high now. What happens after Kang, right? Because we went from Thanos destroying life, now we're at Kang destroying whole timelines and universes, right? So where does the MCU go after this?
Well, it's the X-Men or X, whatever non-gendered term they're going to use. But it's it's X-Men. That's the only way I can see it, because there's a wealth of stories there that have not been told. They'll still screw it up, but that's the direction it goes.
But what are the stakes?
Exactly. What are the stakes? It feels weird because I feel like what they could do is, they easily could have, they've killed some characters. Those characters can now come back. This is just Tony Stark from this other universe. I'm surprised they haven't done that already. Maybe they're saving that for the final Avengers versus Kang movie. So there you go.
By the way, X-Men will be called the X-Them.
Yeah, that's good. You didn't give credit to the person who came up with that joke, Alan.
I just did give credit to him.
But you didn't.
Drifting 67, I'm taking your joke. It's the X-Them.
All right. Well, look, we have over 1,000 people are watching the show. We don't normally get that kind of audience. We should get about half of that. Thank you so much. Please like this video. Share and subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the channel. We really appreciate it. As Alan is fond of saying, slap that subscribe button. Oh, wow. So there you go.
It never gets old.
It never gets old. Let's go to your comments. Also, Paulie from Latino Slant will be joining us. We're going to go to your comments and questions about Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. My takeaway is it's forgettable. It's not a movie I see myself revisiting, even though I already have tickets to see it again. But I think I'll look for things I didn't notice the first time around. I don't know, maybe just a lack of enthusiasm. Maybe it's Marvel burnout. I don't know what to say.
I think that has a lot to do with it. I'm kind of
so?
burnt out, and the overuse of CG in this movie is what did it for me. It's just too much. It was,
I think people are just tired of the Marvel formula, man. I think the formula is killing them, and they don't want to fucking change. Sorry, they don't want to change.
Yeah,
I'm trying to watch my language.
Well, we're at 35 minutes. I think we're okay.
But they don't want to change their formula, and that's what's killing them right now.
Yeah. By the way, Eric Weber gave it 9 out of 10. So
Eric Weber loved the movie. We all walked out and we're all sitting there. And Paulie from Latino Slant, where are you, my man? He had his own thoughts, and he'll tell you what they are. But everyone was just like, ooh, like what? Even your daughter, Alan, your daughter was with you. What did your daughter think?
She hated it. She liked the first 2 Ant-Man movies. She hated this one.
Why? Can you ask her why? And she's the target
for the
demo.
same reasons. For the same reasons, it wasn't an Ant-Man movie. This world was just not something she could relate to. This quantum realm, and that was the long. It was an hour ride home, and that was all we talked about.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, Alan's daughter should have her own show, dude. Because I was listening to her critiques when we came out of the theater, and she was spot on everything, man. I was speechless. I'm like, let her do the review.
If Alan's daughter, she could potentially replace Alan. She would be great.
Well, she calls herself the chaotic version of Alan.
Oh, she did.
Yeah, that's what
she
said.
Your daughter's quite she's a spark plug.
Yeah. Well, when
She's
she gets heated up about something, she'll go off. She'll go on her rant.
No, I love it. I love it. Bring her to every screening.
I know. I tried. Well, believe me, I said, "You're going to Marvel's, right?" And she goes, "No."
Are you kidding me?
Wow.
She does not
Wow.
want to see the Marvels.
And you know what? She's the demographic for that movie.
She is no. Well, honestly, the demographic feels preteen girls.
You think so?
I think so, because you notice that shows revolving around high school never appeal to high schoolers. It's always the
You know what? That's a really good point. That's a really, really good point.
Yeah. Let's go to the comments. We have a super chat here. Ministry of Wrongthink for $4.99 says, so if it's not a spoiler, yes or no, do they ever explain how people can breathe in the quantum realm despite being smaller than atoms themselves?
Yeah. No, they don't explain that.
They do not.
There's a billion questions you can ask like that, and none of it's explained. You just accept the fact that the quantum realm exists.
Yeah, I mean, if you overthink it, it's not. They never explain anything like that. Lori Kikta says Phoebe Waller-Bridge is brilliant. I have been told that by many people. She's just not for me.
I hate to say, but the things I've seen her in are pretty good. Her episode of Saturday Night Live is especially good. So we'll just leave it at that.
All right, we'll leave it at that.
Wait, who does she play in Ant-Man?
She's not.
She's not an Ant-Man.
Oh, I'm like, I don't remember seeing. Okay. Hey, there were so many people in costume, man. I'm like, I lost track of who was there and who wasn't.
Yeah, and they never really explained. Like the denizens of the quantum realm. They just sort of came from different places and got stuck there. That's basically what it is. Back to your comments here. We got a lot. We're gonna get to all of them. MK Solid 82 for $4.99 for Indy. Mads Mikkelsen was supposed to play Tot from Raiders, but it looks like they changed it last minute. Now he is Jürgen Voller. Good to know. Is Ant-Man a $3 billion movie? Asks Nikolai.
Oh, is Ant-Man 3 a billion?
Ant-Man 3. Oh, sorry. Is Ant-Man 3 a $1 billion movie? I am going to 100% say no. This movie is not. And even the previous Ant-Man movies, they did respectable numbers. I think this will be the biggest Ant-Man movie, the third one, but it's not an Ant-Man movie. It's not a third Ant-Man movie. It's the first movie of Phase 5, the first episode of Phase 1. It's a Disney Plus streaming show that they're releasing theatrically. That's my feeling about it. But it's not going to make $1 billion. I don't think it is. I don't think that. I mean, none of the Ant-Man movies have made north of $1 billion. I think it will do respectable numbers, but not $1 billion.
Yeah, well, let's set it in context. Ant-Man 2 opening weekend, 87 million. So we'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah, if it's more than 87 million,
it'll do better than Ant-Man 2.
Yeah. I think because people are curious about Kang.
Yeah.
And you know what? I am Kang curious. Read into that what you will. Magnum Norse for 10. No more films about two insects. Can I get a Robert Eggers film about Elric of Mohibon? Pretty please. Yeah.
I don't know what any of that means.
Yeah. I don't know what it means either, but I love it. I love Robert Eggers. Murdoch 86 for 5. Chris, loving Strike Force Muraturi. Dante, love your channel. Alan, hope you and your family are doing well after the weekend. That's very kind to say.
Thank you.
It was a tough weekend, but yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, Alan did tell me he was very funny.
Yeah. I killed it.
All right, so to speak. One more super. Oh, wait, hey, we got Paulie here. We're going to bring him on in just a moment. Radio Man 1017 for 5. Does the film address the vital plot point of whether or not Scott Lang could get a boat loan after Endgame? Yeah, that is. I always found that I love Anthony Mackie as Falcon. He's just. I think he's. If you ever see that, like some of the behind the scenes where he does these stunts. And Anthony Mackie just says, cut the check. You ever seen that montage? It's hilarious. Yeah, it's him. He'll just do this cool thing and he'll just say, cut the check. Like he knows he did a good job. He knows it was a good take. And you can find, but I thought that was really stupid. Like, here's a guy that like is an Avenger. I didn't. That never made any sense to me.
But actually, it kind of for me, it worked because of the fact that these guys aren't getting paid, man. Like they're just superheroes saving the world. Like they're not on a payroll of anybody.
They're influencers. You'd think that the superheroes could get like brand deals,
like TikTok money.
Yeah,
right.
Give me some of that sweet TikTok money. MK Solid for $1.99 says, "How are they going to toss Blade into this mess?" No idea. And it's
no idea.
I heard bad things about it.
No idea. Mahershala Ali. I love that actor. Mahershala Ali, Oscar-winning actor. Love him. I don't know. And it's not like Wesley Snipes is like. It's not like Wesley Snipes looks pretty good. I don't know why they don't just put him in the movie. He's got to be a part of it. He's got to be a part of it in some way.
He's too old to play a Blade. I'll say that.
Think so? All right. Hey, let's bring on, and first of all, reminder, please subscribe to Dante's channel, Verbal Riot Show. He is so close to being monetized right now. So close. Go to Verbal Riot Show. Alan, can you put a link in the the chat?
Guys, I appreciate it. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's a fun show, but if you are easily offended, then it might not be the show for you because shit gets a little raw. I'm sorry, things get a little raw.
Things get raw
on my show. So, yeah, if you're easily offended, it might not be for you.
Magnum Norse for 10 says, Ant-Man and the Wasp, hence 2 insects. Okay, let's get...
Okay.
Yes. Oh, wait. Alan's daughter replacing Alan. That's gender swapping, Chris, says Yes, but it would be gender swapping. Alan, I would not do that to you. I'm only kidding. Let's bring on Paulie from the Latino Slant. Paulie, how's it going today?
Hello there. Hello. Que pasa?
Hey, que pasa? Que pasa?
Just listening to you guys shill for Marvel.
Hey, we're shilling?
Yeah,
shilling. We're doing a bad job. Look at Alan's t-shirt. Alan, you got to show everybody your shirt.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Make Marvel mail. Oh, you got those shirts.
They finally came out.
You guys have the best shirts.
Well, no, this was for a charity. This was
that was from Flagrant. Yeah, it was to help, as I like to call ball cancer.
Testicular cancer
shirt with
there you go.
Cool 60s.
So we've given all our first impressions. Paulie, you were at the screening last night. You just got off your own live stream on your own channel.
Yes.
Slant, subscribe to that.
Yes.
And you did an early reaction on that has blown up, I see. Yeah. What are your thoughts? Tell everybody. We want to hear what you think.
It's garbage.
I got to put you full screen for this. Go ahead.
It's garbage.
Oh, man. Well, tell us why you think that. I really want to
I know. You got to elaborate on this.
Molly pulls no punches, man.
Yeah.
I was shocked how bored I was. That I didn't care about these characters that I had known before, as far as Scott and Wasp, like the title characters. The title characters are the people I least cared about. Loved Michelle Pfeiffer, love Kang, but it wasn't enough to save this film. Some interesting terrain in this world that was so chopped up that you didn't care because they went for a lot of political strange dialogue, and then even worse, humor, way too much humor in just whenever they could. Maybe that was the reshoots, because we had heard, Chris, that it was a very dark first cut, which I would love to see that now. So, I mean, without spoiling it, right? And you're doing your non-spoilers,
right?
Go to my channel where I just spoiled the shit out of this.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
I it's just my personal belief that like maybe just hold off on spoilers until everybody can go see it. But
you don't have to see my review.
Okay, yeah, no, you're right. No, but I'll watch it. I'll watch it. What struck me also, having thought about it, is how we talked about it being forgettable, but also what is really
Mhm.
set in is apathy with Marvel. It's like you said at the beginning, Dante, in your remarks, you said, it's just, you don't really care. Like and I think what's missing is like a spine for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They kind of, and look, Jon Favreau was not in favor of Tony Stark dying at the end of Endgame. He did not want that to happen. He thought it was a big mistake, and the Russo brothers had to like talk him into it. Like, oh, this is a good idea. This is a good idea. And I think at the end, I think they're going to look back. There are two things the Marvel Cinematic Universe they'll look back, two biggest mistakes. One, not correcting the snap, right? Because it affected everything going forward. I have a theory that I think that the multiverse may actually reset as if the snap never happened. That's just my personal theory. Because I think it broke the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And then getting rid of Steve Rogers and Tony Stark was a big mistake. I think we're seeing the results of that. Phase 4 was middling. This at least kind of gives you a taste of what's to come with Kang. And I speak because of the scenes, the scenes at the end of the film. But yeah, it's apathy is the thing that's really set in with me is, I used to look forward to Marvel movies like, oh my gosh, we're going to get another Marvel movie. We haven't seen one in so long. And now.
Yeah. Well, I said that to you guys last night. And
yeah.
I'm going to interrupt, but.
No, please.
Because you guys are, that's pretty good. It's not that bad. I was like.
No.
I was looking at you guys like you guys were entertained. I said,
Eric was
sleep on it. Sleep on it tonight. And get back to me in the morning because I don't know what I just saw. That's supposed to be your entry into phase 5, and we're gonna right the ship and let's kick some butt. Wow.
Yeah.
No, but you have to understand too. I went in with no expectations. For me, the fact that it wasn't like completely terrible compared to like, She-Hulk or Wakanda Forever or Thor. I walked away like, okay.
Well, exactly. Like I walked away just like, it's it's fine. It's forgettable. It's a Disney Plus show in feature length form. Thankfully, it wasn't 2.5 hours. It's 2 hours and 5 minutes with credits, and there are two post. There's like a mid credit
to the end, basically.
Yeah. But I hated Wakanda Forever. I was that movie pissed me off.
I went in there too with no expectations, right? Because very low expectations. And me, guys, I really give everything a benefit.
Right.
But yeah.
But you did like Babylon, which means you have very good taste.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that's almost like a film thesis on why I liked it, and in the video I did about it, I talk about it through the purview of this one character, one of the main characters in the film, but I totally see why people would hate that film. Absolutely, I get it.
Right. Paulie, let me ask you this: the introduction of Kang compared to the introduction of Namor.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think both were wasted opportunities. Even though you got a great performance out of with Kang, it's in a mediocre at best film. And Namor, even though maybe Tenoch is an incredible actor, dramatic actor, they didn't do many service in Wakanda, and Wakanda for me was they both had these very similar, both films, in that they're literally creatively manufactured by a committee, and you could tell that there was no strong identity of this film. The identity of this film honestly should have been Scott Lang and the daughter, right?
Yeah.
Hook us, but reacclimate us. We don't know these characters, but then you have a new actor playing the actress, the daughter. I want to get to know these characters before the adventure. Well, they just skip that, and then it's like, catch up. I was really confused.
You know what really confused me too is I don't know why, but for the trailers I saw, they made it seem like Scott, the whole point of the movie was Scott is tempted by Kang because he wants to make up for the lost time that he didn't have with his daughter, right?
Yep.
You never really got that in the film. The trailers made it seem like that's what it was about. And they barely even touch on that in the film.
Well, you never even get that sense at all in the movie that this was about recapturing the missing time.
Yeah, at all.
In the film, is that ever even an option?
Did it
part of that story? The heart of the story is Scott needs to step up. Just because he saved the world doesn't mean he can just sit back, write a book, and go on a book tour. That he needs to step up. But
see, the marketing is very different, though.
Yeah, it's weird. This movie was marketed differently than the movie that we saw, and I feel like it felt like there was last minute cuts that were made. Mm-hmm. Did it have that feeling of just like, look, this movie, we can't do 2.5 hour Thor movies anymore. We got to make this. We can't do like Wakanda Forever. That running time killed that movie. Yeah, there might even be a decent movie in there, an under 2 hour version of that movie, but 2 hours and 40 minutes. There are so many parts of that movie dragged, which I actually didn't mind because there were plenty of opportunities to go to the bathroom during Wakanda Forever. But let's go to our chat. We're going to continue to talk about the film.
Okay.
We have a lot of comments and super chats. We're going to get to them here. We'll do chunks and then comment here. Brandon Watts says, I really hate the fact that snobs like you guys get early access to these movies with no appreciation. Well,
that's right. What are you going to do about it?
Look, talk to my butler and ask him if I'm a snob, because I'm definitely not a snob. And Chris, I will ask my maid what she thinks. She will say I'm definitely not a snob. But
Chris,
what?
No, Chris, I have to say, privilege feels really good. I understand why you like it so much.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Yeah, exactly.
Brandon, I don't get early access. I actually was a +1, and whenever I do my film reviews, I'll let you know if what and how much I paid for my ticket, because with that price of the ticket, I get 100%. I get to be 100% honest. And even last night, I didn't give a shit. When do I get to talk about this? Oh, tomorrow. I'm like, all right, here I go. So, I mean, what does that mean? Like, we get early access. It's just like, what does that mean? We're supposed to like it?
But see, that's the thing. I think the majority of the people who do get early access are the shields, because they want, people to put out the good reviews for them. See, that's why they don't invite guys like me, because they know that at no given time will I give a terrible movie a good review. I will destroy that mother. I will destroy that film.
Dante, truth be told, Dante was my +1.
Yeah, I was Chris.
Yeah, we were +1.
Alan and I we get to see the movies maybe a little bit sooner than people, but we're not invited to the premiere. We're definitely, if there's like the
never been invited to a premiere.
I've never been to a Disney premiere.
Chris,
what?
Didn't you say to me, man, you got to get on these,
get on the list. Why not?
Right? And what did I say to you? I looked at you. I'm like,
say?
nah, I don't want to do that shit. Well, I'd rather pay for my films and love it or rip it, but I feel good about it.
And we discussed this yesterday. There are people who will literally go to these screenings because they know they're going to give the movie a good review, regardless of how bad it is. They know they're going to give it a good review.
Brandon, have my butler talk to your butler about who is the biggest elitist here.
Yeah, love you, Brandon.
More comments here. Luffy is God. That's Namor to you, Alan.
I'm sorry.
Midnight's Edge After Dark. Paulie liked it. Surprise, Serpsy not.
What?
That's got to be Tom from Midnight's Edge.
Yeah, liked what, dog?
Yeah, exactly. I think he's just busting your balls. Yeah. The Sound of One Man Laughing. Speak it, Paulie. I'm roped into seeing this myself later this week.
Paulie, you're encouraging people to see this movie.
That's fine. That's fine. I mean,
Strike 7171 says Phase 5 equals Phase 4. Not the Batman. Can we just laugh at the fact that Disney thinks killing characters off is going to make the rest of their movies just as popular with the least popular characters? That's what I think is bizarre. You've got the legacy characters that I think are much more popular. They're bringing in a lot of these, a lot of other characters. I don't know what your thoughts are on that. Anyone?
Well, to be honest with you, I feel like Ant-Man was supposed to end very different than it did. I felt like that ending seemed last minute. We're going to change it up because the way it was heading, I don't want to give away spoilers, but I think it was supposed to end very differently than it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they took a cop out, by the way. They took a cop out.
Yeah. I'm saying I have thoughts about that, and we'll talk about it Friday.
Yeah.
Magnum Norse for 10 says, can I purchase that mustache or is that not for sale? Paulie?
I just want to say the Film Threat owes me money today.
Why?
Look at all the super chats you're getting because of my mustache, dog.
Oh yeah, exactly.
La brocha,
right,
la brocha, cool. La brocha.
What Waddle D's nuts for $1.99. In case I missed it, how was MODOK? All right, we're all on MODOK. Yeah, MODOK, thumbs up or thumbs down. Everybody, thumbs.
It's comic relief. It was comic relief.
Comic relief. Ridiculous.
No, the point of MODOK in the movie was comic relief. And whether they succeeded at it is a whole other thing.
Look, man, the three of my favorite characters, comic characters of all time for me, because I'm a big villains guy, are MODOK, Taskmaster, and Sabretooth, right? They completely destroyed MODOK in this film.
Well, we were talking about, or I don't know if you were on, Dante, we talked about, it looked like Thumbtanic, those Steve Odekirk thumb movies.
No, I was,
Thumb Wars. That's what it looked like. It looked so dumb. It just, there was and there's a bizarre connection. We'll talk about it later, but MODOK in this movie is not MODOK.
Yeah. Hey, let me just say, we saw this at D23. We saw the scene where Kang confronts Scott for the first time in those prison cells, and the scene was menacing. The scene was dark. It was, you felt the fear. And what did they add to that scene in the movie? They added MODOK. MODOK just disrupted the flow of that scene, and I felt like you just ruined a great moment of this movie by throwing him in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Chicago box. I'm sorry I can't give money to Disney no matter what they put out. I'll buy tickets to another film and then sneak into Guardians 3. Fair enough. Jamin D, who's a member, thank you for that. Is this what standard should be now from audience side, though, that we should go with lower no expectations for reviewers or critics? I think that may be possible, but for regulars, I just think that lower your expectations, and I think, I just say set them very low.
But here's the thing: we're not. Look, we're critics, but we're also fans of these properties, man. Like I said, I've been reading comics since 1983. And I haven't stopped. So I'm a fan of the material. Like, I'm not going in there as a film critic. I go in there wanting to enjoy these movies, right? Like, I don't have a notepad. I'm there just to watch and enjoy. And they are just destroying these properties that I love.
Yeah. J Twist or JWT 6577. My eyes are still blurry. For 5, I usually listen to these. Not today, though, Paulie. That stash is majestic.
Ándale, pues. Dame la feria. Give me some money. This is what I mean about white man oppression. Where's my money, Chris?
Go Jam Zim for $1.99. Does Kang have too many similarities to Thanos? No. I'd say different, very different characters. Yeah. Very different. I don't know.
Damn.
I don't think we've seen Kang. We've seen sides of Kang. Let's just say that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they are going for comic book Kang here.
Yeah. How was the MCU-ness of this film? Says Jager for $1.99. It was a balance. Not so much. It was a balance. It's not like, Wasp took over. I mean, each of the characters kind of have their moments, right? Including Cassie has her moment. Michelle Pfeiffer has her moment. Michael Douglas, Hank has his moment. Like, all the characters kind of have their moment. And yes, Ant-Man is the center, but it didn't feel as MCU as like Wakanda Forever. That is full MCU in effect. Anyone else? Alan, you're wearing the shirt.
Yes.
Alan, show us that shirt.
Show us the shirt. Yes.
Oh, there you go. Wow.
Yeah. Chris's famous tweet that
the tweet that people tried to cancel me.
Yeah, how many subscribers, how many followers did you lose on that tweet?
I gained followers actually when I put that tweet out. Make Marvel male again. That's all I said. But yeah, any other thoughts on the MCU-ness? Anybody? My thoughts we just balanced.
Yeah, I was actually surprised how much Hope Wasp was not a part of this film, and I think that was another problem to the identity that this was supposed to be at the family at the beginning, coming back together after the blip. That I just she was cool, she was all right. It was balanced. I think the father-daughter was there. It did get chopped up. Michelle Pfeiffer was fantastic.
I have a theory.
Yes.
I think that they sliced the Wasp's parts in this film because of the whole controversy with her like not wanting the vax and all that stuff. I think they kind of, because I noticed she played really background in this movie like quite a bit, for a movie to be called Ant-Man and the Wasp. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's much more Hope than much more Janet than Hope.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
Fear the Turtle 21. Well, Alan's canceled.
Yeah.
And then Lori Kicked says, ugh, in reference to what? Ugh. Lori,
I know. We just had a conversation this morning, and I think I just ruined everything in that conversation by
What'd you do, Alan?
Hey, you know what? This is what I love about Film Threat. That there is not just Film Threat has a diverse group of writers, but diversity of thought, which is something that unfortunately most of the media does not support. They support that you look at media outlets and they skew politically one side of the spectrum. I think that's incorrect. I think if you're a media outlet, you should represent many differing voices. And Alan,
yeah, Lori has another comment that I think it's worth bringing up here.
Why are y'all afraid of women having like 2 hours of screen time? Says Lori Kickta.
Yeah,
We are literally wait. Let me just say, we are literally responding to a question that somebody asked. We are responding to it. And the response is it was very balanced. And there has been a trend of supplanting certain, characters. The movie is titled this, but it ends up being more about somebody else. I think it's a bait and switch. I think people have concerns about that. We're addressing those concerns by responding to a question. So none of us, I don't think anybody on this stream, the four of us, are afraid of anything. We're responding to a question someone asked.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I will say though, the issue is balance. I mean, if you take into account recently Ms. Marvel, Ironheart,
Wakanda Forever,
and Cassie here, the question I have now is when is a young teen boy going to get his opportunity to become a superhero? Are we going to see that? And I think there's the shift is moving. It's kind of that pendulum. I would much rather see the pendulum in the middle than to see the swings of it being overly male versus being, feeling like we're pushing all the women characters too much. We just need that balance in the end.
And I already said Michelle Pfeiffer was one of the best things about this film. So
we all said it at the top. Like Michelle Pfeiffer is like the standout in this movie. She has a sense of gravitas. She's good in action. She looks so good, considering her age.
Oh,
I think she looks amazing. So I don't know. Lori is one of our new hate watchers,
and she was almost kind of like the guide through the quantum realm for us.
Yeah.
Hey,
she was the guide. She's the only one who knew about it.
Right.
Lori,
hey,
keep watching the show. Keep watching the show. Okay, more.
If I could. Okay.
Fear the Turtle 21 for 5. Just helping Alan get off his feet now that he's canceled because of the shirt. Yes, you're canceled because of the shirt. More comments here. Jamin D, is this what? Okay, we already addressed that one.
Yeah.
Raylo Normie says the return investment of these movies are diminishing. No one cares about the stories anymore. We care more about your reactions than the movies. That's sad to point that out, but yeah. Matt W's a member says a white guy, an Asian guy, a Latino guy, and a black guy walk into a Zoom call. I feel underrepresented. I feel underrepresented on the Zoom call.
Yeah, Chris, what's up with all this forced diversity?
Yeah, this is the fourth diversity.
They're just woke.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. All morning, Chris was saying, "Where's the Latino guy? Where's the Latino guy?"
Well,
I know. I kept saying that.
I think if we get a white woman on this panel, we'll level up. So can you make that happen, Chris?
Yeah, sure. I'll do it at never o'clock. No, I'm kidding. We need, well, look, we'll get there are other people. We've had that Star Wars girl on. We did our panel at LA Comic-Con, which I thought was great. Verbal Riot, never lose those shades. They are perfect.
Yeah, man.
Around. Another question from Alan Horkin. Did you spot David Dastmalchian? Wondering about the different role he hinted at about in his interview. Yes, David Dastmalchian got like this big billing at the end in the credits, got like a single card, and he plays like this weird, funny sort of germy alien that's like a blob. And it's funny. It's actually a comic relief thing. He's not in the movie very much, or his character's not in the movie all that much, but I thought it was fun.
But he stands out, definitely.
He does stand out. It's a standout character for sure.
No, I thought it was great that in the title cards they listed all the main leads of it, and then David Dastmalchian.
No, it was great. It was great.
Yeah.
But
his billing, he got great billing. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, bigger billing than probably the character. There you go. Lori Kichter says, I agree with you, Alan. I'm saying not particularly to you guys.
Yeah, you guys.
Oh,
you guys.
You guys.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say, Lori.
Me.
We just, yeah. But you know what? We don't have to explain ourselves. Just check out our content.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is when people come after me about one thing that they saw in a YouTube short taken out of context, I just think to myself, you don't watch the channel, so you don't know what my thoughts are, or you haven't followed me since 1985 when I started Film Threat. And if you haven't already noticed from following my social media feed on Twitter, or reading things I've written, or reading any of my books, or watching me here on YouTube, or having seen me turn up in documentaries or TV shows I did years ago, you might have noticed that I'm a sarcastic asshole. And I have been a sarcastic asshole since 1985. I was a sarcastic asshole in the 90s with Film Threat magazine. I was a sarcastic asshole when I started doing television in the late 90s through the middle to like 2012 or whatever. And I'm a sarcastic asshole on YouTube.
But
I am here to be an irritant. I'm here to provoke discussion, and I love different views being represented. I love debate. I love to watch or listen or read things that I disagree with, because I want to have a discussion and a debate. And if you have not noticed, my Make Marvel Mail Again tweet was in character with who I have been forever. So when I see friends get like shocked, like, how could you say that? It's like, do you know me? Have we ever hung out? I'm a sarcastic asshole. I need a t-shirt that says sarcastic asshole. That's a shirt that I'll wear.
By the way, Lori is one of our great
I love Lori, by the way.
Yeah, she's one of our great reviewers at Film Threat. She has a vast catalog of reviews on the site.
Yeah, Lori's great.
Be sure to read.
Lori's great.
She has great viewpoints. So.
She has great views. I don't know if she can hold her bourbon, but we have hung out. And Lori's amazing, and we don't have to agree on things. I think that like we can. Here's what I said to her this morning before we started our stream. I said we can disagree and coexist. That is the point of this country.
Sounds so nice.
But no. I believe that. I mean, you can say these sort of like, oh, that's sort of a little platitude, whatever. You just say it. No, I believe that we can disagree and coexist. The problem that we're struggling with in this country right now is people want to shut you down, or they're just echoing talking points that don't come from a place of experience. I have very, very strong views when it comes to children and raising children. Why? Because I did it. Because I have adult children. You know, my kids are both adults that are totally self-sufficient, and I raised them in a way that I wanted them. My goal as a father was not to be their best friend. It was so that I would pass on values to them so they could survive without me, because that's what they need. That's what they need. They need to go off into the world, survive without me or without any help from me. That's a tough thing for a parent to do. Too many parents like kowtow to their kids or just want to do this, or they go with whatever the sort of thing that's in the zeitgeist, you know, and yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be a tough parent, and I'll decide when my kids are ready to have certain ideas introduced into their brains, because that is really important. And we've kind of lost the plot when it comes to educating children in this country. And, you know, so that's a whole other discussion. Let's keep talking about Ant-Man. Really went off on a tangent there, folks. I should have played the Gore rant thing. I should have. Why did I not do that?
Oh, you're going to play it now.
A freaking IKEA chair. I do like to rant. I'm going to admit that. I'm just going to admit I like to rant. Thank you, Lori, for your comment. We appreciate Lori. You know, I'm not going to describe her. She has different views, and I love that she's on Film Threat. I'm really proud of. She should be proud of her work. If you go and click on any of her reviews, click on her. See, her body of work is amazing. So, oh my God, what are you doing? You're baiting me with these, Alan. Rund, Chris, what do you think about the movie RRR? One of the best movies of last year. Should have been nominated for Best Picture. Solomon Thornton, we can disagree and coexist. You should tell politicians this, Chris. Well, politicians trick us into hating each other. And so what we do is we fight amongst ourselves. We fight and debate and fight amongst ourselves. They try to separate us by race or gender or all sorts of, you know, things that are inconsequential to me, because to me, I'm attracted to having friends in my friend circle just based on the fact that we enjoy hanging out. I enjoy hanging out with everyone on this stream, probably everyone except for Alan, but everyone, most people. I'm kidding, Alan. I'm kidding. We had fun last night hanging out at happy hour. It was good. Good conversation. But
yeah, my daughter thinks you're all crazy. And
she thinks she does. Sure. Well, listen, like Alan shows up, he's like, "Can you curb the swearing?" And then Dante's right next to her.
I did my best, man. I took her into consideration. I really did try to keep it to a minimum. So,
well, back to the film. At the end, when we were outside, your daughter said she could have written this better, and I'm a 15-year-old.
You know what? And I believe her too.
I totally believe her.
She doesn't have enough comic book knowledge to do that well.
Yeah.
So.
Well, final thought on Solomon Thornton. This is why I put this tweet out about every couple months, that Ming the Merciless kept the kingdoms of Mongo fighting amongst themselves. So they couldn't realize that he was the real villain, that he kept them fighting to not notice that he was this authoritarian dictator. Just the story of Flash Gordon is about that. Literally the essence of that story is, I'm just going to have you guys just like fight amongst yourselves, your little kingdoms, and I'm just going to rule over you and just keep you fighting. That's the divisiveness in this country is something I'm wholly against. And so it's disappointing to see. More comments there. Gabriel Quiroga for 5 says, does it look like there is any cohesion going forward after Quantumania? Phase 4 has been all over the place with TV shows and movies. Where's it going? It's going with basically what's going to happen is the Avengers, or a new version of the Avengers, is going to come together to fight Kang, or I will say Kangs. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think that's
if you're familiar with the comic books, that's not a spoiler.
Yeah.
And the new Avengers will be all female.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Drew with Comics Elite for $1.99. How big is Bill Murray's role in the film? He has like one scene.
Yeah.
One scene.
And it's a meaty scene too. So.
Yeah, he's Bill Murray. Yeah. Do you think Star Wars should reboot, says Elliot Cecil for $1.99? I think it should. Here's what I think should happen with Star Wars. It should go away. I think it should go away for maybe 5-10 years. They should sell off the IP to someone else. I think that we're doing a show about this soon called Critics Court. We're going to put Star Wars on trial because I think the franchise is dead. That's just my personal opinion. Anyone else?
It's only Lifeline right now is The Mandalorian.
Any other thoughts?
Well, I think we went into depth about this on Friday. So yeah, Paulie definitely.
Any thoughts, Paulie?
Yeah, it should go away, and it'd be great if it was sold to someone that actually cares about it and can really reinvest. But it does need to go away.
Someone who understands Star Wars. Spidey Sensei 72 for 5. Paulie looks like a young Edward James Olmos with the mustache. Viva la Lieutenant Castillo. There you go.
Orale. It was a secret. It was a secret fantasy, very vato, living in and out of the chicanada to wear the zoot suit. Pues orale. I'm telling you, man, where's my money, dog?
How's your father begun the Kang Wars has?
Ugh.
Suliju. I'm so sorry. It's early. There was an Ant movie called Phase 4. I remember that movie when I was a kid. It was cheesy.
No kidding.
I like that, and I like the movie Them. Do you remember Them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a whole new meaning now, but Them was a 1950s giant ant movie that I loved as a kid because they actually built like full-size animatronic ants, and that movie was frightening.
Dude, there was a bunch of those movies like back in like the 70s, like these giant insect movies, you know?
Yeah.
But they were fun.
They were fun and cheesy. Phase 4, I do remember that. Thanks for bringing that up. Crowded House. Yeah, they need to fire the people who designed MODOK and whomever oaked it.
Okayed it.
Okayed it. Yeah.
I like oaked.
Did I say oaked it? Listen, I'm only on 1 cup of coffee, folks.
Oh, I'm like
one
on
cup
3.
of coffee. Although technically, if you're going to drink your coffee, drink it out of a Film Threat mug. Go to shop. Go to shop.filmthreat.
You have the best merch, man. Mine's. Anyways. Yeah, go on. I'm sorry.
Too soon. Kang's movies are 2 years away, says John Snowden. Yeah, it's weird. So it's like they're introducing this, they're building, but what they did with Thanos was they kind of introduced him little by little. He was in the background.
Yeah.
And then he showed up. And I mean, Infinity War to me, I still think is probably one of the best, if not the best Marvel movies. I think it's better than Endgame.
Completely agree with that.
The way that they built this CG character to have so much, like, you see the weight on his shoulders, you get to know who he is, you what he suffered. It's just I don't know. I hope we get a deeper view of Kang. I feel like he's just been introduced. We're seeing a side of Kang, but not really. What's the point?
Why? But the problem is that there's so many Kangs, right? Like, so aside of which one, right?
Yeah. Oh, big question here. How woke is it? Says Rohan Kulkarni.
Well, except for the communism part.
I've been waiting for this one. I've been waiting for this.
Okay,
go for it, Paulie.
Go for it.
Okay, all right. Let me recite lines of dialogue that I heard in the film. Peaceful protesters. Burn it all down. Revolution. Now, I know it's a controversial catchphrase, but socialism actually works. Thank you.
That's right. He did say that.
These are all quotes from the movie. They're kind of woven in. And it was like, okay, make of that what you will, but that is straight up political messaging, pandering to a certain segment of the audience. That pissed me off. The whole thing about ants and socialism, it was weird.
Yeah,
and
I'm
the
not
weird thing
kidding.
about that too is like it was so unnatural the way that line came out.
Yeah. You said it was woven. No, it was thrown at us.
It was thrown in.
True.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
You're right. Woven means there's like actually like really intelligent and fun storytelling. No, it was thrown out and at odd moments. Like, what did I just hear?
Yeah.
Now,
by the way, ants are not communists. It's an authoritarian dictatorship.
Yes, with a queen.
Yeah, they have a
head.
queen.
So, hate to burst the bubble there.
Yeah, but
because they are worker ants, and they have one job, and that's to work.
Yeah, there's a clear disparity between the queen that just sits around, is served by everyone. Everything's in service of the queen. And then you've got all the other ants are workers with specific roles.
Yeah.
Lori Kikta says, Them is so good. I agree. Them is one of the all-time great 1950s horror movies.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it holds up to today, but we'll see. Empire of the Ants was awesome, says Wes.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one.
CD Stein 69, who's a member, thank you for that. Wow, Weber must have stolen Alan's spot as Disney's frontman.
I know.
Iger's like, no check for you, Ing.
Wow.
You know, I think you're right. I think Eric is now shilling for Disney. I hope he hears this too.
Oh my God. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird. Alan was just defending the movie. He thought it was, but see, I don't think I don't think that Eric is Eric's not a big like he's not a comic book guy, he's not even a comic book movie guy. He doesn't care about the characters. He never read the comics. He's Eric Weber's a normie, and that's fine. That's actually good, right? Eric Weber, normie, whatever. We should have Eric on Wednesday on our Wednesday show to debate.
I mean,
I think we'll do that.
Eric. I think Eric's viewpoint is why a movie will succeed at a box office and why it won't. And
Right.
I think he may be right in the sense that, you know, he thinks this movie will make $120 million. He may be right about that.
Yeah.
Opening weekend?
I think he's way off, man.
Yeah. I don't know.
Opening
Like you
weekend?
said,
Opening weekend.
No.
120.
That's coming up this weekend?
yeah.
I mean,
So yeah, he thinks it'll make around 120 this weekend.
I told him we should bet.
I think we should have him on the panel and talk.
Well, I'll have him on Wednesday.
Cool.
And we'll make a bet.
I'll listen.
Diano sends in a 3-pound super sticker.
De año. Gracias.
Bet Manuel. What? Batman.
You said it. Yeah.
All right,
good.
cool. It isn't an Ant-Man movie. It's a movie with Ant-Man in it. Yeah, no, he's the lead, but he's it's more of I would say it's an ensemble movie. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
It's more like the Ant Family instead of Ant-Man.
Mhm.
Oh, there you go. Ant Family.
Yeah. But it is Scott who is the pivotal part of maybe the win or loss. So
Right.
I don't know who wins.
That's
John
still debatable, though.
Alan's a hardcore microverse guy. F the quantum realm. Give him Micronauts.
Yeah, I used to own the toys. I
had the toys. I had Hydrocopter. Used to play with it in the bathtub. I had Baron Karza. Do you remember Baron Karza?
Mhm.
This big metal figure that had like you could take his limbs off, but they connected with magnets. One of
I
the
remember
greatest all-time toys.
Do you remember when toys were made of die-cast metal?
Oh, dude, the original
Oh,
Transformers were die-cast metal, and they were amazing.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my die-cast cars over there, my little cars.
There you go. Ronnie Padilla. I liked the first Ant-Man movie. I didn't like the second one. You will probably like this less.
Yeah. Remind me about the sense of humor when we get back into the review.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, a few more comments here, and then we'll pivot back. John Snowden, Ant-Man and the Wasp was really the Wasp featuring Ant-Man. I would agree. Aaron Rosenfeld, this is not an Ant-Man movie. Enough said. Zavin, it looks like a theatrical cut of a high-budget streaming show from the trailers. That is a very astute remark. Lori Kikta, our friend Lori Kikta. But Kang rules on Loki. He does. I think we all said that. Didn't we all say that?
Yeah, you said that. You talked about how great that last episode of Loki
that last episode was great because it was not what you expected, this broken man. And I think that really speaks to the Jonathan Majors as an actor. He's very versatile.
Yeah, because I mean, if you look at his performance as He Who Remains and Kang the Conqueror, they're very different.
Yeah. And Zach says, "Here comes the money." Did Jonathan Majors steal the show like everyone said? Says Airsoft 123.
I would say yes, but not by much, because I think him and Michelle were pretty close for me.
Right. Okay, cool. More comments here. Alan Horkin damning with faint praise.
Yeah.
You could say that. Paulie, you wanted to say something about the sense of humor. We're going to go back and talk more about the film. We will get to more comments. But you had a comment, Paulie.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that, and I had mentioned in my in my review this morning why the original Ant-Man was so successful was its unique sense of humor was in the storytelling. I mean, the humor of Luis, where he was telling the story of what had happened and how he got this part, how he got that was just so refreshing that it became one of the enduring highlights of Ant-Man, of the first film. And I'm not saying like, oh, we miss Luis, even though I miss Luis. Now this Marvel humor is of telling and saying awkward things in these most action-packed epic moments. It's so tired. It's tired. So there's no, you're adding no, so what you actually regressed. You didn't progress with your unique sense of humor. You've gone 2 steps back, and it is all over this film. It's all over this film.
I'll go a step further with that. I think the scenes like at the beginning where Paul Rudd is just being Paul Rudd, I thought those were funny. I like those a lot. I think it was naturally funny because it was just Paul Rudd being Paul Rudd. I think once it came down to the Ant-Man stuff, then the comedy felt very forced. It felt weird, to be honest with you. Like it felt very out of place in a lot of scenes. So it's weird. It worked only when he's being Paul Rudd, not when when he's being Ant-Man.
Yeah, I thought that like the humor was out of place in some places, but it's again that goes down to the Marvel formula, right? So there you go. There are a lot of other things that bug me about the film. The fact that it looked like it was just shot like nothing was, yes, there were practical things that they interacted with, but it was so digital, so shot on a screen, so many digital characters, and it just I felt that kind of ruined it. Let's get to more comments here. We got some really good comments and questions. Tim Murrell says, we don't know the essence of Kang to understand if he's acting within character. True. Kimberly Moore, how many times did Kang remove his helmet? Now that's another thing that's a pet peeve of mine, is that I may even have to, I might just have to just like a freaking IKEA chair. I'm so tired of this thing within Marvel where like a character, I think it's become lazy. It's become lazy where a character will like go like this kind of on there, and then like whoosh, a whole like digital helmet just appears on their head, and it happens so quickly. It's so cheesy. It's lazy. It's Stark tech. And it's like once they started doing that in the Marvel universe, characters don't even put on helmets anymore. It's just this like, and then the nanobots, instantly appear. What happens if I go like this on my face and the nanobots, is it going to chop off the end of my finger? I think it's the dumbest, laziest thing, and I'm sick of it, and I wish they would stop doing it. So there you go.
Okay, so just to piggyback on that, what bothered me the most about this movie is if a character didn't have to wear a mask, it came off. It was like they would put the mask on, fly for a second, then take the mask off. I don't know if you noticed that, but it was like there's a directive. The no actor can have a mask on in this movie if at all possible. You got to see their face constantly, and so it's constantly coming on, coming off, coming on, coming off, and it's just annoying.
It did get tiresome. It's overused, and it's not interesting anymore. Grimstorm says Dante's channel, I think, is Verbal Riot. It's Verbal Riot Show. Just look it up. Solomon Thornton, that was the beauty of MCU phase 1 through 3. It was a standalone film and explored the characters in the film. Also in the Kang Dynasty, Tony and Steve are the main characters. There you are. Campos Sergio says, if Ant-Man 3 was a phase 4 movie, would you guys put it against the others? Greetings from Switzerland. Well, if Ant-Man 3 was in phase 4, it probably would be the best phase 4 movie.
Aside from Spider-Man.
Aside from Spider-Man, which isn't saying much because I feel like the bar is low. So there you are. A female Avengers would make it at least 100 million worldwide, says Wade Chadwick. I think a female Avengers would definitely make over 100 million worldwide gross. Mario Ruiz, Biotron. I loved Biotron. Oh my God. Now I'm gonna go on like an eBay spree and see how much that stuff costs. I'll bet it's not cheap.
It's not cheap, man.
Yeah.
Radioactive Chris, do you remember when Micronauts appeared in Marvel Star Wars comics? Not only do I remember it, I bought them. I bought those Marvel Micronauts comics. I bought the toys. I mean, I was a kid, and yeah.
Well, I remember Marvel. I don't remember Star Wars though.
Yeah, I think there was a
Marvel crossover, and I think Ant-Man was a part of that, if I'm not mistaken. Or is the Fantastic Four?
Yeah. Let's see. Wade Chadwick, the Loki program, which wasn't about Loki. And I like that you said program and spelled it that way because I know you're not in the United States. Rafael Lopez says, I love the movie Them. Those giant non-binary ants are really progressive. Yeah, I thought Them was great. Old 1950s movie. Look it up. Now I want to see it. Wade Chadwick, yeah, Ant-Man felt like something different back then for the MCU. It was a caper film. It was more of a family movie with the family dynamic with, Scott Lang's daughter. It had that aspect, which I thought was great. Lori Kikta says, Ant Fam. Ant Fam is a thing. Oh, dude, Michael Pena, says Lori Kikta. Yeah, Michael Pena is not in this. He's not in this movie.
Nope.
Did you miss Michael Pena? Paulie,
yeah.
Oh
yeah, I missed that character.
Well, you brought up the gimmick he had of how he told stories. And,
well, I'm also wondering too, because it was like kind of done right before. When did Ant-Man come out? 2015, 2016?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they got so self-conscious that they didn't want to continue with that Latino character.
Why?
Because it is a stereotype used for comedic purposes, but I thought there was a three-dimensional character to him, and you know what? That's how raza is. That's how people are. I love it. That's why.
Yeah, I mean, there was a charm to him, man. Like
that's why we're still talking about that character, because those homies really exist, and it was fantastic. They probably got too self-conscious. Oh, we can't have Latinos like that. We're gonna have America Chavez.
I just don't think he fit for this movie. Like, but
What's
then
that?
again,
yeah, I mean, you couldn't put him in this movie, but at the same time, this is not an Ant-Man movie.
But listen, his van in the La Cucaracha horn was in the Avengers, man. That van saved everybody. He's taking all the credit. Where he didn't ever credit Luis in his van. This is not right, eh? That's not right.
MK Solid 82 for $1.99 says the little girl freaking out in Them is so classic. Yes, I really want to see that. I'm just gonna watch only Ant movies for the next week. Leo Cody. Yeah. I got to do a shout out to Leo Cody for two. Leo Cody has done some of our videos lately, did the 69 one that we showed at the top. Thank you, Leo. Your contributions, they're coming fast and furious too. We appreciate it. Leo's just killing it with these. He's memeing Alan and I in all these graphics and videos.
I love it.
It's hysterical. Ants are not communists. Quote of the year. And Juan Toys and Brick says Micronauts were the Microman by Takara. I did not know that. I love finding out the toys that made us. Do they have in Micro?
That's a great show.
It's a great show, but do they have a Micronauts episode?
You know what? I'm not sure.
They should.
I'm not sure either. So yeah. All right. We're gonna wrap it up because I know Alan has a hard out. But final thoughts. Oh, wait, here we go. Rom and Micronauts were my favorite Marvel comics, says Scientific Lens. So there you go. But let's go final thoughts around the horn. Starting, Paulie, your final thoughts.
Final thoughts on Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. I'm so happy that it's a forgettable film because there are no thoughts left. Thank God. And there's other things I'd much rather watch. But that being said, if you are compelled to go see this film, I would say go see it for Jonathan Majors as Kang and Michelle Pfeiffer. They're fantastic. He's got this strange charisma that's very creepy and hypnotic as well. He's incredible. So those are my thoughts.
Dante.
I say go in with extremely low expectations. I say if you're an adult, have a few drinks before you go watch it. Definitely, kids will probably love it, but for the adults, you might want to sling back a few just to put you in the right mind state. The film itself, it's forgettable. If you really shut your brain off, you can enjoy it. And yeah, Kang, Jonathan Majors was great. Michelle Pfeiffer was great. To be honest with you, I mean, they all did a fairly okay job, but it was very low tier. And as far as progressing the story goes, just going knowing you're not going to see an Ant-Man movie, you're going to see Kang Begins, and just leave it at that.
Let's see, Alan. Oh wait, here's a comment. How many Asians were in this movie? Just asking for a quote friend lol, says Jamie. How many?
Oh, well, Randall Park appears for literally 2 seconds. Yeah.
Wasn't the Warrior Woman Asian-ish?
She might have been. I
think the character's name is Jintaro or something like that.
Yeah, but just this idea that we have to look at people's skin color and start, ticking off boxes here.
Right.
It's just insane. But yeah,
Well, there was
no Michael Pena, there's no T.I., but
there was a lot of box ticking I felt for this. It did feel like there were notes.
Honestly, not annoyingly so. I mean, we've definitely seen worse in other Marvel films.
For sure.
I think I think the communism stuff is the biggest thorn in our side for this one, and I would agree with Paulie and Dante. It's okay. I mean, it's sad to have to say that about a $200 million movie. Yeah, it's okay.
Alan, a question for you. Alan, did you feel represented as Maynard Lloyd?
Did I feel represented? Not as a comic book fan.
Also, very important question here from Drifting 67. Any Amish people? I don't know.
Maybe one of the robots.
Maybe one of the robots. Yeah. My final thoughts are this is forgettable, and I think that it's some kind of Marvel apathy is kind of set in for me. And there were the standouts are Michelle Pfeiffer and Jonathan Majors for sure. What I don't like is this isn't a third Ant-Man movie. It's episode 1 of Kang Begins, as you said, Dante. It just feels like that. It's like, okay, Kang Begins. Now we're going to have Kang kind of pop up here and there, and leading to a final standoff, a final battle 2 years from now. So get ready for that. On the good news front, the Flash trailer was really good. That's what I have to say about the Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Anything else? Any other final thoughts as we take it out? And I just want to remind people 2 quick last things. One, we will be live again tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific time with Hollywood on the Rocks. We'll continue our discussion of Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. We're also going to talk about other films. Also, I want to little shout out to people here. It is today Valentine's Day. It is Valentine's Day, and I picked this up at Ross on special. It's a little C3 filled with conversation hearts. And this day is also known as, it's known differently. If you're single on Valentine's Day, it's called SAD, which is Singles Awareness Day. You're very, very aware that you're single on Valentine's Day. Singles Awareness Day is the other name for Valentine's Day. So shout out to you no matter where you are. If you're celebrating with your significant other, or whether you are eating candy, if you're eating bargain candy at home by yourself, happy Singles Awareness Day. Happy Valentine's Day to all of you. And we will be live at 1 p.m. Pacific time on Wednesday, 9 a.m. Pacific time for our regular Film Threat Livecast on Friday. I want plugs for your channels. Paulie.
I do want to say that the funniest thing for me in this, I forgot, there is one truly funny bit, and it's the coffee guy at the beginning and at the end, the old little Latino guy.
I like him.
He's a cute old Cuban actor. He's been in a lot of stuff. And he's unfortunately though one of it's in the trailer where he's like, "Thank you, Spider-Man."
Yeah, they kind of ruined the best joke in the entire movie.
Right. First of all, thanks to Film Threat and everyone in the chat. I saw that I got a whole bunch of new subscribers and followers. Thank you so much. I'm gonna have Alan on this Thursday in the afternoon for our weekly live where we go over topics of the day and have a lot of fun. So muchísimas gracias, and support this hombre. What? Yeah, that guy right there. Get him to 1,000 subs. Do it now.
Verbal Riot Show.
Much appreciated.
Now.
Yeah, guys, you can find me at the Verbal Riot Show. It's a fun show. I talk about a lot of different things, movies, games, but mostly just kind of controversial topics, even though I try to be very balanced in that. But it's a fun show. Like I said, if you're easily offended, it might be a little rough for you. But if you have a thick skin and you're just tired of the bullshit, I'm a good channel to watch. You can find me at Verbal Riot Show on Instagram, Twitter. It's my handle for everything. So love to have you. Definitely would love to have you. Guarantee you a lot more videos coming very soon. But yeah, man, this was fun. I always have a good time when I'm on the show and just shooting the shit about movies.
Yep. Alan, where can people find you?
At my pal Al on Twitter and Film Threat Alan on Instagram and on filmthreat.com. Me, Lori, and a whole bunch of other writers, we review films every day.
And in a secret location, your daughter's old bedroom.
No, this is my office.
Okay. Cool. And we're Film Threat on everything. So go to filmthreat.com. There are reviews daily new indie film reviews, movies you've never heard of. Please support us and go to shop.filmthreat.com. Check out my new shirt. This may or may not be a shirt that is inspired by one of my favorite movies, Tron. It may or may not be. So check that out. Go to shop.filmthreat.com to check out merch.
I like the one you had on last night.
The Top Gun Maverick.
Film Threat merch is just on another level.
And as we like to say, Film Threat t-shirts cure nudity on contact. It's very important.
Very interesting.
There you go. Yeah, and just follow us. We're Film Threat and everything. We will be back again. We'll be live on Wednesday, 1 p.m. Pacific time, Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Alan, what do you have to say?
Let's get out of here.
Hated it.
No. Wait. There was something else that you wanted to say.
69.
No, wait.
Cochino.
Wait, which one is it? How would you define exploitation, Alan?
Exploitation? Gratuitous.
Oh, I love the hat.
We love Alan. All right. See you later this week. Thank you so much to everyone in the chat for your support, your super chats. Great questions. We will continue the discussion. We're not just going to talk about Ant-Man on our upcoming streams. There's a lot more to discuss. Alan, take us out.
Let's get out of here.